Common question I get on my retirement, and you guys know that I'm up on my fourth year of retirement, is why do I use buckets as my withdrawal strategy for funds? Why do I use that? Why not use the 4% rule? Why not go to 60/40 stocks to bonds and just rebalance every year, take out your next 6 months or a year's worth of spending, and then just go down that road? Why do you complicate your life with buckets? And so I wanted to go through that. I've got two advantages and three disadvantages I wanted to talk about. But to back up, I use three buckets. Okay. I have bucket one, which is 0 to 4 years worth of expenses. I have that's from my assets, money that I need from my assets. I do have a very small pension. I love getting it, but it's small. And then I have some deferred compensation that is coming in, and I have some income coming in through my part-time hobbies. But money that I need to live, the vast majority of my money, it comes from bucket one. Okay, then I have a bucket two, and that bucket two is balanced funds. It's 60/40 stocks to bonds, and it in 4 to 5 year periods, looking back the last 100 years, it's done pretty well. Really only lost in maybe a couple 4 or 5 year periods, and it was like 1%. Most of the time, it's returning 5, 6, 7% over long periods of time. So I have my bucket two invested, trying to get some return, but it's years money that I need in year 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I have bucket three, which is all stocks. It's a lot of growth, a lot of small caps, some select value stocks inside of there, but it's my long-term growth. I need bucket three to be successful, but I don't need to touch those funds till year 9. So that's how my money is separated. And what I do once a quarter, I look at each bucket and can they do their job? Okay, so for example, bucket one, I've got 4 years of expenses. If I did that analysis right now, I would look and say, hey, I got about 3 years of expenses. Oh, I need to top this off. But then I'd say, oh, wait a second, the market is down 25%. So I'm not going to refill my buckets unless I absolutely have to in a down market. So I'm at 3 years. I look at the market's down 25%. Bucket one is doing its job. Okay. And I'll do that every quarter. Now, bucket one could all the way go down to 0 years. And then I'm forced to take dollars out of bucket two or bucket three. Hopefully that won't happen. History says that can happen a few times, but it won't be the norm. It'll, 3 times out of every 4, 5 out of every 6 times, I will be able to ride bucket one down through a bear market, have it come back. The market set new highs. As soon as the market comes back and starts setting new highs, I'll take bucket three money and distribute it to bucket two and bucket one to top them off. So I know this sounds complicated. It's really not. Once a quarter, I look at each bucket to say, are they able to do their job, and adjust accordingly. Not an automatic rebalance. Can each bucket do their job? It's very simple. The vast number of quarters, I do nothing. I'm doing nothing. Did nothing last quarter. Will do nothing this quarter. Probably do nothing the following quarter. So it doesn't cause me a lot of stress. Okay, but that's what I do once a quarter. So let's talk about advantages and disadvantages and kind of why I settled in on buckets. Advantage number one, it's designed to remove fear and panic actions. If you don't know this yet, the number one problem or detractor to your returns are individual actions. It's panic selling. It's like market's down 25%, I'm going all to bonds. That's the worst thing you can do to hurt your returns, is take action during panic times. And it's designed to do so. So, hey, let's use an example. Say, for example, I used the 60/40 rule and I rebalanced and took out my expenses for the year. On January 1, I did that. Well, 60/40, the market's down 30%. Am I safe? Do I have enough funds? Am I going to run out of funds? Should I rebalance that to 50/50? Should I go? You got all these questions. It's not obvious whether you're safe here, right? You don't automatically know that I have enough funds to last me the rest of my life. When you're using buckets, you're just consuming bucket number one. You're consuming bucket number one as you designed and as you planned. You got that 4-year bear whole cycle. So 1 year in to a bear market, I don't worry at all because it's designed to remove that fear. 2 years in, I don't worry. 3 years in, I don't worry. I've got a financial advisor friend of mine. He says he gets, 5 or 6 calls a day from panicked investors. 100% of them, zero, zero detractors from this, but 100% of them are people that don't manage with buckets. They're managing a 60-40 or 70-30, and they just want some reassurance that they are doing the right thing. Am I going to run out of money? I'm seeing my portfolio go down. When you got buckets, the buckets are all doing their job. And that's your only job as a manager of your buckets is looking each quarter, are all of them doing their job. Bucket 1 is managing to 0 to 4 years. Bucket 2 is managing 5 through 8 years. And then bucket 3 is that long-term investing. That's all you're looking at. It's very simple and very obvious that you're in good shape and you don't make panic actions. Okay, number 2, it enables me to be confident in my long-term investing. Bucket 3, I've got 100% in stocks. By knowing that I've got 0 to 4 covered, and I really have, 5 through 8 covered, I'm able to go all in here. A lot of the models, like for 4% rule, I think it's Bill Bengen that came up with the 4%. It was how much, it was what you could remove to have a 30-year retirement. But the assumptions in there had much higher bond yields than we have today. Now, bonds are going up, but historically, I believe the number is 5% of what bonds have averaged, over, the last 75 years. But, gosh, you go back the last couple of years, it's like you're lucky to get 1%. So the 4% rule, there's some fallacy in that assumption of 4% is a safe withdrawal rate because of current bond yields. So I don't pay attention to bond yields. Well, yeah, I do pay attention to them for my bucket 1 and a little bit of bucket 2, but it enables me in my bucket 3, which my bucket 3 is my money maker. Everything else I'm playing a little defense with. Bucket 1, bucket 2. Those are my living expenses. Nice to get a little return on them. But my main money maker is bucket 3, and that's where most of my money is. So it enables me to have confident investing and not panic, to not say, oh my gosh, I need to take some out of bucket 3 because the stocks are down 30%. These will be down 25, 30%. Oh my gosh, I need to move to bonds. So it allows me just to let that ride that wave, okay? Up and down as you trend up. The stock market historically has trended up, but with a lot of drama in between. So those are the 2 main advantages, and I'm telling you, they're huge. Okay, now going on to disadvantages. It does not maximize returns. So you may have some money in cash, some money in CDs, I-bonds, whatever you've got, money market fund, that, boy, you're missing out on opportunity. You should be investing in the stock market. Hey, folks, I'm retired. My goal is not to maximize returns. My goal is to have a peaceful retirement and not make stupid actions that hurt my long-term gains. But I could make more money if I invested it all in the stock market or all in, gold or all in REITs or real estate. But it's not designed to maximize returns. But, hey, you got to live with that. You may not, if you take your total portfolio, you could put it in other situations, other investments to make more money. You got to know buckets that's just a disadvantage, but I know that going into it. Disadvantage number 2 is if inflation eats away at cash. Boy, you never can see that more vividly than today. But hey, again, don't panic. This hopefully will be a 1 year, maybe 2 year high inflation, but inflation does eat away at that. I think it'll come back down. Number 3, and I know when I describe this, it sounds complicated, but there's no fixed rules. It's an evaluation for me once a quarter. I look at each bucket. Can it do its job? And if the answer is yes, I do nothing. If the answer is no, I look at the market and it is an opportunity to top them off so they can do their full function, 4 years, long term. But there's no fixed rules. There's an evaluation, and some people can't handle that. I'm looking at buckets as I it's a struggle for me to think that they're complicated. But I hear that so much that it's too complicated, too many rules, too many things to consider. Can each bucket do its job? That's your only question you're asking. Okay. And if not, you've got to, what action should you take? And if the market's down, you take no action. If the market's up, you fill up the buckets to let them do their job. It's really not complicated at all. Well, anyway, I'd love to hear your withdrawal strategy in retirement. I'm using buckets. I'm 4 years in. I love buckets. My investment advisor friend of mine says the only people not panicking are the people that have buckets. The market's down 25%. I'm not worried. People are asking me, what action am I taking? Should I delay my retirement? Should I go back to work? I'm like, I'm planning on doing nothing. And that will last at least 3 more years. And at that time, maybe I will panic, but I doubt it. 3 more years, good chance we'll be past this, setting new highs. I'll top off buckets, and we'll go again with each bucket armed with their strengths to support the very short term, the middle term, and long term portion of my retirement. So love to hear what you're doing. Love to hear your debate. And let me know what country you're from if you're listening to this. I love seeing that. This is Joe out.